go ahead and bring the city council meeting to order. I'd like to first ask people to stand and join in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Aaron, can you please do roll call?
Jenny Bowers-Schultz.
Here.
Matt Dyer is absent. Tyler Fullenkamp.
Here.
Scott Murray.
Here.
Abby Wilder.
Here.
Okay. Was everyone given a chance to review the minutes from the previous meeting held on December 16th? Any corrections, deletions, additions?
I'll make a motion to approve them.
Second.
Motion a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. We do have one guest. Do you mind standing up and introducing yourself?
Hi, I'm Alexis Somerset.
Okay, in what grade?
Sophomore.
Okay, she's a sophomore in the Mayor's Youth Council. Thanks for coming.
Yep, welcome.
Okay, we just have a couple things on the agenda tonight. First thing is the certificate of appointment to the Alcoholic Beverage Commission for Pete Brown. Just need to make this a matter of record.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, thanks Pete for doing that. And then next we have a presentation from financial management firm Baker Tilly. Baker Tilly works with a number of communities across the state, so if you want to join us at the table here.
Just a few handouts I'll pass out. I'll be brief here this evening and certainly glad to answer any questions. So. Thank you for having me this evening. My name is Andy Mauser. I'm a director with Baker Tilly. I actually work out of our Indianapolis office. I work closely with Eric Walsh and Amber Nielsen, who are both out of our Mishawaka office. We, as Mayor mentioned, work with a number of communities around the state. I do quite a bit of work in the northern part of the state myself, despite, again, being based out of our Indianapolis office. And I think if you do this evening, you've got a proposed agreement for services, and that would include a number of different items. This agreement really is two-part. The first piece of it would be for what we call a comprehensive financial plan, and that's what I'll spend a few minutes going through here this evening. And then the agreement also includes any other services that would be needed just as you go through the annual process, budget process, any economic development opportunities that present themselves would just keep us engaged, and certainly those would be things we would proceed with if requested throughout the year. But one thing we would like to get started, I've had some conversations with the mayor and Aaron and met with the department heads back in December is, again, what I mentioned, the comprehensive financial plan. And this is a plan that really is meant to be a multi-year both financial and capital projection that will take a look not only at the current year that you're in, but really looks at the past 3 to 4 years where the city has been in the past, and then also will project where you're anticipated to be 3 to 5 years in the future. And that's an important plan. We do these for communities around the state. These are plans that we prepare on an annual basis. A lot of communities, we prepare these on an ongoing basis. It will really start to become a living, breathing document. So as you're making decisions throughout the year, this is a plan you can reference, and you're not guessing whether the city can afford things. You've kind of already modeled that out. So obviously, planning and multi-year planning has always been important for local government. I started in the municipal advisory world in 2010. That was right after circuit breaker was put into place. So really for the last 15 years, we've seen communities trying to navigate circuit breaker and some of the pressures that that's created. We're entering a new world here. Senate Bill 1 that was passed into law last year is a pretty drastic change to the property tax system, and while it will be property tax relief for many of your taxpayers, it certainly has the potential to put additional strain on local government. So, part of this plan would be to help navigate what some of those impacts would look like. I did hand out just a short single-page schedule that looks at a model that was prepared by the state last spring start to stagnate some of those property tax revenues. So this plan will help you, start to project what property tax receipts may look like in the future, but then also start to think about additional revenues, things like food and beverage taxes, your utilities, potentially looking at trash fees, other revenue streams, and then also Senate Bill 1 will, in 2028, will bring a new local income tax structure that's different than what's currently in place, and so starting to think through strategy of what the city may want to look to adopt, and then what you may need some assistance still through the county to adopt in the future as well. So this plan will help navigate those legislative changes, and then as you continue to face, increasing costs due to inflation, things like wages, healthcare, cost of paving, building, continues to rise, making sure you've got funds to address all those needs. And really, the goal of a plan like this is to continue to provide the same services or better services to continue to accomplish capital projects, and do so in a way that's minimal impact on your taxpayers. So page 3, really what this comprehensive financial plan and the reason it is comprehensive is we try to pull together both the financial side, so kind of the ongoing operating maintenance, all those ongoing costs that are going to occur from year to year, things like personnel, supplies, but then we also bring in your larger capital needs, and we try to understand where you've got capacity to pay for things and where you may need to look for additional resources as well. So layering in those ongoing costs and some of those bigger capital needs hopefully will help the city be more proactive in the future, and you're not having to address needs as they pop up. As a fire truck breaks down, you may already have one lined up 3-4 years in advance. So things like that, just staying ahead, and as you continue to be aggressive to make sure you're addressing things well in advance. Page 4 just looks at the benefits of an analysis like this. The budget process, while it's a several month process, a lot of times it feels like it takes the whole year by the time you prep into the budget season, kind of all the way through the budget process and getting that adopted by the end of the year. Having this plan in place will make a lot of those budget decisions much easier. In that budget process, you've already run through, where you've got capacity to pay for various initiatives. It also helps you with sensitivity analysis, as you consider things like raises, new capital purchases, taking a look at how your fund performance may change in the future with some of those larger decisions. And then also helps you analyze, the impacts of changing economic conditions, and that can be the greater economy and then also the legislative changes. I know, as I mentioned, Senate Bill 1 is what many communities are still trying to digest. At the same time, we're already headed into the 2026 legislative session that's really getting underway more heavily this week, and we'll wrap up by the end of February, but that may bring additional changes or some cleanups to what we saw last year with Senate Bill 1. So continuing to navigate things in a changing world is certainly a big advantage of having a plan like this in place. And then what you'll see on pages 5 and 6 is really a representation. This is an example community, and this represents what was put together in the plan just for that community's general fund. But this is something we will pull together all city funds, so your property tax-based funds, your local income tax-based funds, your redevelopment funds, your utility funds, and we will look, as you see here, and as I mentioned earlier, really look at your last 3 to 4 years of actual performance. You'll see in this community, actual 2022 to 2025 performance, and then also project things forward all the way from 2026 through 2029. So that'll give you an idea of not only where you've been in the last few years, but then also where you're headed. And you'll notice as you look at this example community, most communities in Indiana are primarily funded through property tax dollars and local income tax dollars. And as I mentioned, the Senate Bill 1, while it's a property tax relief bill, it's also a major change to the local income tax structure that will occur in 2028 as well. So getting ahead of what those changes mean and projecting those out through the full rollout of Senate Bill 1 will certainly be important. And then this report, as I mentioned, also looks at all your disbursements, both ongoing disbursements, but then also layering in capital needs of all your various departments, both the needs and the wants, and certainly becomes a document to help you prioritize some of those major purchases. So with that, I'd be glad to answer any questions on the agreement or
first I just want to say that Aaron and I started talking about this a while back, and it just, when we're looking at projects and trying to prioritize what we can and can't do, we just kind of were at a standstill. And I think it's a really good idea for us to plan for the future and start doing some financial planning so that we can prioritize these projects and see which ones, and look at some different financing options that we've never done in the past. So I think this would be very helpful to have those guys help us along.
I know within the proposal that has been provided to the city, it encompasses a solid size scope of work in developing the comprehensive financial plan. One of the segmented additional services talks about more feasibility studies for capital projects. As you're developing the plan, how do you develop the plan without also doing some of the feasibility work, and is that separate and distinct from what's included in the proposal?
There's certainly a fair amount of overlap. I say sometimes where that will break out separately would be more on economic development opportunities. If you have, a developer looking at creation of tip areas, things like that, sometimes that may break into its own scope.
Okay.
But the goal of this report will be to address a lot of those large capital needs, whether those are things that can be funded from existing cash flow, or if there are, borrowing opportunities that can be done, in kind of more traditional ways.
Okay.
So that's something that will be explored, and certainly anything that would go outside the scope of the long-term financial plan, that's things we would, communicate with this team, and certainly make sure the city's aware before we proceed with anything outside the comprehensive financial plan scope.
Okay, that kind of answered my next question, is how and when is that triggered, and what kind of notice is the city given, or how? I think the proposal says upon request from the client, but how is that communicated?
That would just, anything through, phone conversation, email conversation, with the city leadership team before we proceed with anything. So the agreement would get us started on the comprehensive plan, but anything within, I think it's B through, I'll say H in the scope, those would just simply be at request from the mayor, from clerk treasurer's office.
Okay. Is it possible that Aaron could call Baker Tilly and in the course of a conversation ask for a piece of information, and all of a sudden, like, additional charges outside the scope are done, additional work and research is done without it necessarily being contemplated or anticipated? If we go along with this, is that a sufficient upon request by the clerk treasurer's office to trigger additional work and additional costs?
I mean, the agreement would cover those additional services, but those are things, because that work is listed as time and expense, we're always happy to provide an estimate, for conversation before we would proceed with anything. So I would kind of leave that up to the city team as far as how those requests would come to us, but, whatever that process is, we'd be glad to follow for any of those additional
Okay.
requests outside the scope. Does that answer?
It is. I think I'm just trying to get a fair understanding of how costs are assessed, and what truly falls within the scope of work that's being presented, and how much is billed more at an hourly rate versus what's encompassed within the proposal made. So it's difficult to tell right now. Is that?
No, I mean, I think, the initial, as I mentioned, would be to get that comprehensive financial plan, and that would involve, a number of meetings with department heads, city leadership, presenting in a public setting. And typically, we will work through multiple drafts of that report, so often that's a report that will stay in draft form. If we were to start it now, we may present several, drafts throughout the springtime, all the way up to budget season, and then finalize it. So that
Okay.
would all be contained within the long-term financial plan. If there were projects that the city wanted to proceed into a borrowing or additional, financing plan, those are things that would be outside the scope that we would, address and could provide estimates at that time.
Okay.
But I think, those other services would
you.
So, what the scope of work is for this long-term financial plan, there's different phases, correct, to this, to that A, to scope A. Information gathering is one of those. Analysis is another. Preliminary plan, economic analysis report, and then also just the various meetings. Those are all encompassed in developing this plan over the next several months to a year.
Correct.
And that cost would be, for that scope, is $60,000. 20,000 of that would come from our utilities, and then 40,000 would come from the city or from our budget. And we do have that 40,000 in our budget, if approved.
I guess my question is a not to exceed price, or this is a $60,000 price for the, how's that? Where are we?
The agreement is proposed as a fixed fee, so we do quite a few of these around the state. I think, this year, especially with some of the Senate Bill 1 changes, what we would incorporate here would be, I gave you what was released by the state as far as, property tax impacts. This was done in April of last year, so this is really a 2024 data with a little bit of 2025 into it analysis, where obviously, through 2025, 2026 data is available, so we would update this, make sure that we've got a good handle on what Senate Bill 1 actually is going to look like for your property tax collections. As I mentioned, the property tax, or the local income tax system is, as of now, will be overhauled in 2028. And where a lot of that authority currently rests with the county, and then revenue is distributed back to the city, a lot of that jurisdiction will now come to the city, as you'll have control over your own municipal rate. And there are also additional rates for fire and EMS that the county will still control. So we will look at what those changes mean. And that is a big part, I think, of trying to project, 2026, 2027, 2028, or when you'll see a lot of the property tax changes phasing in. And then, as I mentioned, really from 2027 to 2028 is when the local income tax could completely change. So a lot of that's modeling out how those main revenues that are, the primary, currently the primary funders of your budget each year, how those are gonna change. So this is a report, there's some legwork to get it done for the first time when we've not prepared one in the community before, and I think there's additional costs just with where we are with Senate Bill 1 and, the fairly significant changes that are coming from that. But once this report's in place, this is something that's, much easier to update on an annual basis going forward, once that, kind of baseline model is ready.
Does the city currently have anything like what is being proposed? Do we have any kind of long-term comprehensive financial plan?
No.
Okay. So,
No, and that was part of this as well, as we have great ideas on what we want to accomplish as a city moving forward, but we don't have a plan. Like, we don't have priorities. We don't know how we're going to make it happen. We want to make things happen, and this is a good tool, a good resource for us to say, okay, each department, here's what I want. Here's my needs, here's my wants, here's what we see needs to happen over the course of the next few years. How do we make it happen? How do we set that all up? How do we prioritize? And it literally lays it out for us to say, okay, here we go. This is what we have coming in. This is what, this is what we want to accomplish. And we don't have that. And it was something that I felt is needed. I went to a meeting with the county, and Baker Tilly was there laying out exactly how, recommending the county, this is what we, this is what's going to happen to the county, this is what, we need to do, or this is what we recommend, if you will. And I came back to Mayor, I'm like, we need that. Like, I truly believe it's something that's needed to set up. And eventually we can take this on. Once it's set up, we can move forward with it as a city, but it just needs developed and prepared. We need some resource like Baker Tilly to do that for us.
And I think that there are a lot of strong ideas, and I do think we have a strong concept of different projects and needs within the city that are established, but it's difficult to identify which one should occur first because we don't quite understand how all of the financial buckets work with one another. And that would be part of your objective, is to help help us understand the stack of those and what we have to work with and when, and what kind of constraints exist, maybe with existing bonds and debt limits, and what we can take on when.
Correct. Yeah, I would say, I mean, if you were to ask me top 3 benefits of a plan like this, probably within the top 3, if not number 1, is just the ability to prioritize. But that's very hard to do when you don't have a plan and have things, laid out over the next few years.
How far out does this first plan go? Is this just for one budget year, or like in this quote here, is this just set it up for 1 year and then the next year there's a reoccurring fee, or is this going out 5 years?
So this would be for, the plan we would prepare in 2026, but it would look much like what you see on slide 5 or 6. So we would look at your performance over the last 3 to 5 years, and then we would project your performance out over the next 3 to 5 years. And again, that projection forward is really taking it through all the Senate Bill 1 changes. So where things are going to look different is really going to be through that 3 to 5 year future projection compared to where you've been in the past.
So the major work will be done this year. I mean, there might be some tweaks that need to happen next year, but right now is getting the plan set. Well, looking back at all of the past, the past 3 or 4 years, and then looking forward, and then we can make tweaks each year going forward.
So hopefully, from what I'm understanding, is that if we do this now, it's not something that we need to have a whole nother plan again in 2 years, 5 years even, or,
It should be just making updates to this plan.
okay.
Course correcting as we go.
I guess a plan like this is gonna give us more options when there is gonna come a point where we're gonna have to sit up here and raise taxes on everybody in the city because the state took it away. And when they're all yelling at us, we'll say, look, here's the numbers.
Right.
We can't survive without that money that they just took away at the state.
And this data will allow us to help explain it to people too.
Cause it's gonna be
We don't have
explained, it's gonna be on our shoulders now. The state took it off their back and it's gonna be on our back, so
Right.
we're gonna have to explain it one way or the other.
And a plan like this does give us a lot of information to work from, and a lot of data to help explain and educate the public as to why the need exists for the city to do what it's doing.
I think also it just gives you the ability to, create more stability, right? You want to continue your projects done, even though things are becoming more difficult. You may have to look at alternate revenue streams to replace, where property tax and income tax have historically been, 70, 80% of city budget. Looking at alternate streams and, as you mentioned, potential to raise other taxes, other fees, but do that in a way that minimizes the impact on your taxpayers, but still gets projects accomplished. Because, I think that'll be certainly one of the big things coming out of Senate Bill 1 are the communities that are able to continue to invest versus the communities that have to pull back and, will make growth that much harder. So it gives you that ability, going into a changing world to continue to invest in the community.
I think it also help with, a lot of times we get department heads come in and say, I wanna give a raise to all my employees, and we don't know we can afford that
Right.
raise, but
Right.
I guess if it's in the numbers, it's shouldn't lie, I guess.
Yep.
There's money in the budget to pay. I'll make a motion to move forward with the financial plan.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion is second to move forward with the financial plan with Baker Tilly. Any other discussion?
If I can request an addition to the motion for also authorization for you to sign the engagement letter for the, with
So
Baker
moved.
Tilly.
Second.
Second, okay. Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for all your work so far. Yep, for sure. Okay. Do you have anything else?
I do too.
It's a good investment.
Do you have anything else?
Just, I'm gonna restate what I did about the track contract.
Okay.
Waste management district.
Go ahead.
Real quickly, last month, we authorized the city to enter into its annual contract with the Waste Management District. However, at the time the contract was approved, it wasn't known exactly what the rate increase was going to be. We knew it would be capped at a max of 5%, but the information, to actually determine that had not been released by the National Bureau of Labor Statistics until after the approval. That's been done. The increase is 4.3% versus 5%, so that'll be reflected beginning now. So just a quick update on that.
Okay. Department heads. Chief Gerber.
Officer Dyer is currently at IDEA on his second day of the academy. Nice picture on one of their Facebook posts, standing attention, so he'll be down there till the end of April. And just wanted to pass along for the year of 2025, the police department took 11,965 calls for service. Traffic stop, a building check, unlock that car, the rest of the summer.
What's that number again, Kevin? 11,965.
11,965.
65, okay, good.
Okay. Chief Sheets. Can't see who's back there. Aaron? Bill?
Pothole started this week to check for lead service lines. We've done Elm Street and they were working on Adams Street today, so if anybody sees a big factor truck out there, that's what we're doing.
Okay. Kurt? Okay. Council?
I was just telling Tyler that it's expensive to have something like this done, but it's also really expensive if you don't know what you're spending and you spend it anyway, so.
Right.
Yeah, it's an investment,
Yeah.
but it's
To
a
protect
really,
yourself.
it is, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's just smart planning and allow us to be proactive and get some projects done, for sure. Anything else from council? Anything from the public? Okay.
I'll make a motion to pay the claims.
Second.
Motion is second to play the claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Motion to adjourn.
A second?
Motion in 2 seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.